Alright, so you're thinking about moving to Overland Park, Kansas. Well, in this video, we're going to take you all over Overland Park, Kansas. We're going to go to a couple different neighborhoods at different price points so you can see what might fit your budget. And then you're going to want to stick around to the end because I'm going to show you some of Overland Park's best kept secrets. And we're going to get started right now. Hey, so if this is your first time to the channel and you want to know everything there is to know about living in Kansas City, Missouri and Kansas City, Kansas and the surrounding areas like Overland Park, Kansas, then click subscribe and hit that little bell notification so you'll be the first to know of the current market here in the Kansas City area. I'm Zach Morton. My partner Max Jones, the team and I have been helping families move to Kansas City for over 20 years. We get calls, texts, and emails from people just like you every single day, and we absolutely love it. So whether you're looking to move in 3 days or 3 months, give us a call, give us a text, shoot us an email, or set up a Zoom call, all of it in the description below. We look forward to helping you make a smooth move to Kansas City. So as I mentioned, we are in Overland Park, Kansas today. We are just south of Kansas City's downtown. We are probably 15 to 20 minutes south of that. Overland Park, Kansas is one of the bigger cities in the KC metro area. Over 200,000 people live in Overland Park, Kansas, and it has a ton to offer. I am standing right now, actually behind me is Santa Fe, and Overland Park got its name from the Santa Fe Trail, which actually the settlers took out west, and then it ended up kind of turning into the Overland Trail at one point, and then this city kind of has a park-like setting. So that's kind of where they came up with the name of Overland Park. So that's how it all started. We're at almost the northernmost part of it. This is kind of the old downtown area where you're gonna find all the little boutique restaurants and the boutique shops. It's got that nice kind of old town feel. There's a clock tower and a water tower behind me that have that name on it. Hey, so would you believe it? Overland Park is ranked one of the top cities according to niche.com out of 283 cities to live in. It also was ranked in the top 5 by Forbes and also in the Wall Street Journal over the last 5 to 10 years. It's hit those top 5 spots. So just a really great city. So Overland Park, Kansas is rated #1 cities to live in the US. So just really an amazing city, and I think a lot of that goes to speak for, the economy is really good. It's got a good mix of businesses, walking trails, lots of outdoor activities, over 83 parks, holy cow, a couple major golf courses, and then we also in Overland Park you'll find several neighborhood golf courses. So if you want to live on golf, that's fine. If you don't want to necessarily live on it but you want access to great golf courses, we've got all of that too. So really this town has just about anything anybody could want anywhere. So you're not missing out on a thing by living in Overland Park, Kansas. There's one thing that I do want to note though, you do pay a little more on the sales tax. So sales tax here, if you're coming from west or depending on where you're coming from, some people don't even have sales tax, but in Overland Park you're going to see a 9.1% sales tax on anything purchased here in Overland Park. So the Kansas City will have a 6.5% tax, and then Johnson County will have a 1.5%, and then Overland Park puts another 1.5 on top of that. So, which if my math worked out, gets you close to 9.1. So that's how that works. While you're in Overland Park, or if you're coming to Kansas City, you are gonna have to check out the barbecue, right? That's what we're known for. So we have Jack Stack's Barbecue and Q39, which are a couple of my favorites that are right here in OP. One of my favorite things about Overland Park is this old downtown area. They have an exceptional farmers market that's all spring and summer long, where you can get great produce down here, and everybody's out in the streets and people selling necklaces and handmade crafts. It's really cool. There's also concerts and festivals that are always going on here, and parades and all kinds of stuff that you would expect in a spot like this. Let's talk about some fun stuff. So right here in OP, if you're a local, you're going to use the words OP. We have first of all, it's over 75 square miles, so a big footprint of property. As I mentioned, there's or maybe I haven't yet, there's a botanical gardens at the south. There's all kinds of stuff to do. There's an iFly and indoor skydiving shop. There is tee shots, which is kind of fun for the whole family, golfing if you haven't done that. We've got museums, restaurants, chicken and pickle. So if you're into your pickleball and your chicken, we've got you covered there. Ice skating rink. We've touched. There's town center. There's a huge mall for the indoor shopping when it's cold out. Like I said, it's January right now. We're outside enjoying, so you never know here in the Midwest what the weather is going to give you in the winter. But right now it's beautiful, so I'm out enjoying that. All right, there are some major businesses here in Overland Park, Kansas. One of the main employers is T-Mobile. It employs over 6,000 people currently. There's also school districts. The Blue Valley School District, which I mentioned, which is an A+ school district, employs a lot of people. There is a community college, which also is a big employer out here. And there's just a lot of small businesses too. There's on the south side of Overland Park, Kansas, you're going to see the corporate woods. So a lot of businesses, financial businesses. Waddell and Reed are here. We have Black and Veatch, which is an engineering firm. So lots of big business, which kind of add to the charm of this city and the hustle and bustle. Like I said, I'm right here. We're in the old downtown area. We're kind of surrounded by some older homes, and this is kind of a squared off block section that's full of restaurants. It's got restaurants and shops and all that, kind of walking around, strolling around, old downtown feel. Hey, and while we're talking about food and entertainment, there is the new dinner theater, which was also rated by the Wall Street Journal as one of the best dinner theaters in the country. It's got all kinds of amazing things out here, so that's definitely worth checking out and looking into. All in all, it's a really great spot. It's one of the best cities in Kansas City area to live in. It's close to everything. It's cozy. It has everything you need. There's just really a lot of good things. If I was going to say anything that was like a negative or a con, some of the traffic can be, there's just more people here, so it can be a little congested. Up around this part of town, it's the older part of town, so the houses are smaller. They're a little bit older, so you know what comes with that. But then as you go a little further south, you start to get into your more big box stores, all your shopping, all your 5-star Bristol, seafood, all those steakhouses and bigger restaurants that you might expect with newer subdivisions these days. So really a great spot. I hope that I've hit a lot of high points, told you some of the bad points, and made an informative video. Currently down here we're in the south side of Overland Park. This is the town center shopping area. There is anything you could possibly want to find down here. We got restaurants, shops, big sporting goods, Home Depots, Bed Bath & Beyonds. There's a Whole Food right across the street, a cheesecake factory, all kinds of home furnishings, and it just goes on and on and on. So this probably has more shopping than almost any place in the city. It's a little bit spread out, but anything you're gonna want, you're gonna be able to find here. All right, so here we are in our first neighborhood we're gonna start with today. This is a neighborhood. I'm gonna flip this camera around a little bit so you can see some of the properties here behind me. I am walking on a sidewalk. This is a nice older neighborhood. These were built in the 80s, and I'm on a sidewalk. It's a nice quiet neighborhood. It is a Sunday, about 11 o'clock in the morning. So nice and quiet as we're cruising down the road here. You can see it's really well kept up. Like I said, there's sidewalks, so not a lot of cars parked in the street. Everybody uses their garage. The home that we're going to showcase today is right here behind me. This is a property that is currently listed for $400,000. It's a 4-bedroom, 4-bath property with a 2-car garage. It's right at just over 2,800 square feet, so a really good size house for the money. And that's coming in at right at $140 per square foot. Now, with a lot of properties here, we are located right in the middle of Overland Park, Kansas. We're just south of 435. 435 is a major highway that kind of loops around the city and runs right through Overland Park. So we're just south of that and just south of Corporate Woods, in a nice quiet little subdivision. Really centrally located in a great spot. And like I mentioned, as you can see, we're coming up. There is a community mailbox, so that's something that some of these neighborhoods have done to kind of minimize obstacles out in the road to make it look a little cleaner. There is an HOA in this neighborhood. Lots of neighborhoods here in Overland Park in the Kansas City area, you'll find HOAs. This one runs right at $300 a year, so really not too bad. And like I said, there's the property. We'll just kind of pan around here a little bit to give you kind of a view of the neighborhood, and then we'll drive through and give you some more shots of some of the other properties. So let's go on to our next house right after this. All right, we're in our second subdivision of the day. It is a little bit breezy today, so hopefully this audio quality comes through good, but just please bear with me if you get a little bit. So we're in Nottingham Forest, which is a really nice subdivision here in Overland Park, Kansas. Property values here range anywhere from $500 all the way up to $700 currently. And the one I'm gonna take you walk by right now is priced at $550, and it's this home right here. It's priced at $550. It is 4,300 square feet, two-story home. So a super big home. It's got 4 bedrooms, 4 baths. It's got the 2-car garage. So just a beautiful home on the inside too. They've really done well with it. Some wood plank ceilings and all kinds of cool features. With this subdivision, like I said, it's got a pretty good price range, $500 to $700. There's an HOA. The HOA is about $800 a year. And that's going to cover a tennis court if you like to get out and hit the ball around. There's a swimming pool and a play area. So a lot of features here. Something that I noticed as soon as I drive into this neighborhood was just nice wide streets. Again, there's not a lot of cars. It's still Sunday morning on a January, by the way, and I'm just out here in a sweater, so a beautiful day. But it's quiet. Not any cars in the street. Everybody's parked in their garage, so just a neighborhood where everybody really has pride of ownership, takes care of their stuff. This home was built in 1980, so a lot of these other homes are going to be built right around that same time frame. And again, just a nice, quiet, good spot. We're still kind of right in the middle of Overland Park. I wanted to give you guys a good sample. What you'll notice when you look into Overland Park, the shape of the city is kind of like a Christmas tree. It's a little smaller at the top, and then as you get down, it kind of widens up. And we're right in the middle. And it kind of goes older to newer the further south you go, so there is still a lot of new construction in Overland Park. And maybe we'll show you that next, or we'll get into some of that. But there's also a lot of homes that are built in the 80s and even older than that as we get closer to the downtown, which we're going to touch on. So we're still in Nottingham Forest. As we were getting ready to drive after just leaving our last property, we realized we had just listed and sold one of our personal listings here in Nottingham Forest. I wanted to give you a quick walk by of that. This sold for $759. Now this was a complete remodel or rehab on the inside, so totally beautiful. Everything was redone and it looks top notch, like a brand new house inside. This thing is over 5,000 square feet. There's over 6 bedrooms, over 4.5 baths. You got a 2-car garage, and it's just absolutely beautiful. But while we're here and we're in the neighborhood, I just want to stop and let you know about that one. We'll post some pictures up of the inside too, so you can see about this beautiful remodel and how it turned out. All right, let's go on to the next house, shall we? All right, we are a little further south in Overland Park. We're at Terry Brook Farms, with a newer home subdivision. I want to show you some new stuff, like I said I would. And this home we're going to come up across right now is currently listed at $969. It is a new construction home. Like I said, it's built by Don Julie, and he's a pretty prestigious builder down here. Does a lot of the properties in the Kansas City area, very well known. So this is available. This is in let me pan around so you can see the rest of the street here, what we got going on. Lots of new construction. There is an HOA here. That HOA is $1,200 annually, and that's going to include sport courts, swimming pools, and all the modern amenities that you find in the newer subdivision. This is a 5-bedroom, 4-bath, 2 half-bath with a 3-car garage. It's a reverse with a finished walkout. So lots of space, and this is coming right in at $270 a square foot. So like again, just a beautiful area. We're a little further south. We're almost the furthest south part of Overland Park. We're right next to the Botanical Gardens, just down the street. And we're out here, we're in a place where it's just a little more spread out. You know, once you get out of the subdivision, you're driving around, there's just a little more space between the houses. There's not as much businesses or, you know, those type of things. So it's just mainly neighborhoods. Kind of has a more of a country feel out here, but you're still just, you know, we're only 15 minutes from the last house. So a great spot. Everything's new and nice and flat and clean, and you can tell that, you know, little trees and new construction, that's kind of what you're going to get in this area, and there's a lot of it. All right, we'll do a little drive by, show you some of the other properties in this area.